Well, will you look at that? I don't see any drift. I don't think I downloaded a firmware update, did I? Well, I downloaded one, but I don't think it was actually effective. And yet, I don't see any drift. Was it beeping? Did I inadvertently, without realizing it, fix it? Well, here's the drill. Even if that is the case, well, I need to make sure it doesn't become an. I need to make sure it doesn't become an error past 5 minutes. So, I believe that I'm going to disconnect the app and try it without the app. So again, it comes down to the fact that I don't know whether I am actually using the new firmware or not. The last time the firmware didn't get updated, so I'm going to have to try the short test next. Okay, so to truly test this, I've actually started this on an angle. This is true. This is its true straightness, right? Like right here. This is how it normally sits on the stand. This is how I started it. And the deal is that after 5 minutes, it's supposed to run into a drift error. So I've got 5:15 right now on the television, so I'd say at 5:22 we'll say, I'm going to check to see if it runs into a drifting issue. I'm not using the latest firmware update because for some reason it didn't let me do that. I'm going to be very curious to see if I might not have the latest firmware, but I think it did. I think maybe it's just an error with the app, and then I do actually have the latest firmware because I haven't had any drift issues so far. It might just be a hit or miss thing where sometimes I'm going to have a hit or miss issue where most of the videos are going to be just fine, and unfortunately some are not going to be fine. Oh shoot, am I shooting the front? Which is the front? Well, I'm going to keep holding it like this. And if it's the back, just turn around. So I've walked around a little bit now. I'm going to hold this straight, or slight movement with my hand. Now, I'm going to place this in. And I'm actually okay with the stitching job of the bsperoz app that's right now on the computer. I'm gonna shoot this really quickly to see if it's fixed. If I did do something to get it to work somehow, that would be amazing. Ski season, I'd say I've got 2 weeks until the first true use of this camera. The thread, I'm gonna have them bring my I'm gonna have my parents bring my ski helmet home 2 weeks from now, the week before I start using it for skiing vacation, and this is going to be a very awesome 360 camera. Unfortunately, I can't think of a way. I'm still looking for mounts that will allow me to use the strap on my head and put it on top of my head. So far, this camera has actually allowed me to, surprisingly, it has fit. The thread of this camera has fit the screws from my Sony Action Cam, and I just want to make sure that that's still the case with the ski helmets. I'm gonna have the ski helmet come home and hope that indeed the thread of this bsphere camera will work and go into the screw from the action cam. I don't need it to go in all the way, just enough so that this thing is secure. And I gotta say that there's no casing on this like my old Contour. So there won't be this going around inside the case like the Sony Action Cam had. I'm gonna have to be a little more careful with this camera because I don't think it can take as much of an impact. But I really believe that this will be a much better camera because it won't be making that noise clanging around inside some case. So I honestly think the sound might even be better. I have not had a chance to watch the 360 video on my VR headset yet. This is definitely something I have to test. Oh yeah, I haven't worn this thing in a while. I have to plug in my Galaxy S8 Plus and try to see how it looks on YouTube. This is the main purpose of me buying this 360 camera, so that I could shoot 360 videos while skiing. It's in 3.5K. I keep hearing that they came out with a Western version of this. I followed the directions to update the firmware of the Western version, which is what worries me, because I don't know if those directions for the Western version, the orange one that's just come out, I don't know if it's going to work for this, because this is the Chinese version, so to speak. They call it the worldwide version. There's worldwide and domestic. The domestic comes with the Chinese manual. The worldwide version of the Chinese model comes with an English manual and other languages on top of that. And now they've got a Western one, which I guess the only difference, they say it's like this Mad something company that makes it, but I can't help but wonder, like, is that the only difference, that it's orange or that it's got a different name? Does it work the exact same way? And if it does work the exact same way, I see no reason why the other camera wouldn't be able to take the firmware update, which I think has been running into an issue. So we've got 521. So this will have been 5 minutes. I hear the rumor is that 5 minutes is when drift begins if it's not properly set up. So again, I started this one on an angle like this. So you will almost definitely have to recenter it so that it's not like this, but that it's like this. But my main issue is not the center, and I will make sure to start the center good. My main issue is, will it experience drift because of that? Because when I stick this thing onto my ski helmet, there is no guarantee that as I get off of the ski lift, as I get off the ski lift, boom. There's no guarantee that I'll be perfectly straight. And as such, there is no guarantee that drift will not happen. Yet. Here it is. This is test 2 of my action cam. Of the bsphere. Maybe it's fixed. Maybe I won't experience the drift. What's 22 now? Let's find out.